Hello, hello, everyone. We're back again with another podcast, another Aroma Talk with a special guest, Buse, the founder of Mes Bisous. Welcome to our podcast. Please, if you want to introduce yourself to the audience.
First of all, thank you for having me here. For those who don't know me, I am Buse. I'm from Turkey and I'm the founder of the brand Mes Bisous. Actually, there were a lot of confusions how to pronounce Mes Bisous. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Mes Bisous, Mes Bisous, and so there were a lot of confusions. It's Mes Bisous, it's French. It means my kisses. As you know from Persian, my name Buse means kiss too. So in direct way, I wanted to put my name on my brand.
Yeah. It looks great. I mean, it looks great. It sounds great. I know there was a lot of confusion even with the content creators.
Yes.
I know Angel that we were talking about it before the podcast. He was like, I don't know what it is, Mes Bisous, Mes Bisous, but it's actually a good thing because that mispronunciation created a little bit of a hype. People were correcting each other, but it's a really great name. It's also easy to remember, and of course the fragrances itself, they're just different words. So Buse, let's actually make it so easy because it is Buse in Farsi means kiss, makes it easier. So I think there is this love that we all share about perfumes. Every time I talk to people, from content creators, from customers, from other perfumers or other companies, there's this passion, love, and belief that we have in scents, and that story that kind of influenced us to get into perfumes or understand perfumes. It's always really nice to hear, and our audience or people that they want to know the story behind the fragrance, they appreciate it. It's really fun to hear that. So you started during pandemic, is that right?
Yeah, during pandemic. But the brand is launched in 2021.
2021. Oh, so you started the project in 2020, and then everything was ready to go?
Actually, before pandemic we started, but during the pandemic everything was so hard, so it made us a little slow down.
Sure. And when you launched the brand, did you come out with the first 5?
First 3.
First 3. What were the first 3?
Tobacco Flirting with Vanilla, One Night Only, and embodying.
Oh, I see. Well, Tobacco Flirting with Vanilla is one of the best seller in the line.
Yes, it
For
is.
now, I think.
For now, I think this
one is going to become the. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but that's my favorite. I mean, especially I think when we got the brand, it was last year in fall, so I was wearing it most of the time. I got a lot of great feedback, and then the other one was Oud Hypnotic.
That's the 4th one.
Oh, that's the 4th one. Yeah. And the other 3 actually have. I know with Ballet Rouge is.
Bal Rouge.
Bal Rouge. Yeah.
It's also French. It means red bullet, and also rouge refers to lipstick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That one, I think that one for me was maybe a little bit more feminine, but there's no. I know it's unisex. I just couldn't. But what I love about the fragrances that you have created and everyone in the community talk about, the performance, longevity of these fragrances, Sillage is 10 out of 10. Everyone loves them. Like, every time, I wear it or people wear it, they're like, this stuff never goes away. Like,
that was the main goal, actually. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy I hear it from you.
Yeah. Are they 20-25% concentration?
More than,
More than?
the less one is a Wondrous Flight, it's 25. Oud Hypnotic, Tobacco Flirting with Vanilla, and Bal Rouge is 30%. Embodying is 28, and One Night Only is also 25.
25.
They're all extra, the parfums.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense now with the performance that it has. So, perfumes itself, they are beautiful, long lasting. I like most of them. Of course, not all of them are for everyone. You really have to try them.
Yes.
Again, I think there are maybe 2-3 fragrances there that anyone can, you can buy it, you can gift it. I think Oud Hypnotic and maybe Tobacco Flirting with Vanille, you have to kind of test it before because they're just such amazing perfume, but you really have to work on your skin. But I know in the community, people also love your packaging and that thought process and everything went into it, from the quality, from the color. I think when you open it, there is a poem inside it that.
No, at the back there's a poem.
At the back, sorry.
Yeah.
So just tell us. Oh, the poem
Yes.
is here. Yeah. So what is this here?
It's the first page of the book. Let your seduction
I
story
see.
begin.
I see. Yeah.
Yes.
So why this much effort into packaging? What happened?
Okay, let me
Yeah.
explain. I wanted to create something different than the other, there are lots of niche perfume brands popping up every day. So I wanted to create something different. And also I wanted to combine olfactory, poetry, storytelling, and design into one product. All of our boxes are handmade, and also there are embroideries on all of the boxes. And as you can see, you can take the interior part like this. The boxes can be used as decorative objects boxes at home. So I wanted my customers not to throw away the boxes, so keep them with as like, for example, I use my boxes as jewelry box, and I put it like on my office, put my pens in it. So I love it. Some people
that's a great
put it
idea.
on their shelves in their library. It looks good.
It looks good. Yeah, the color, and when you put all the colors together. Actually, that's a great idea. We should use all the maybe zoo boxes.
Yeah, you should
on
put
our,
on your shelf.
Also we should put them on our desk. We keep this stuff there. So you said all the boxes are handmade. This is also handmade.
The embroidery, yeah.
Oh wow, that's a lot of time, a lot of work goes into it. That's pretty interesting, actually. Wow, I didn't know that actually. Vilma told me, and I was, to be honest with you, I didn't know what that term really means. I was like, is that really they do it hand stitched?
When I first did the boxes, people were asking me that, are you crazy?
Yeah.
This is just the packaging. People are gonna throw it away, so why this much effort? But I wanted to make something like a piece of art, not just the box.
You did an amazing job. I think I'm sure you've seen a lot of content, everything. The first impression is very important. As soon as people get the boxes, they're like, whoa, look at the box. And then TikTok, people went crazy for it. So.
And it's colorful.
Yeah.
It takes attention right away.
For sure. Yeah, I think it's yellow, blue, green, red. Yeah, you got all the bold colors.
One more is coming up in winter.
Yes, winter?
Yeah, winter.
That's nice. Well, before we go into, I got some questions for Buse. I'm going to ask her a little bit later, but before we go there, first of all, welcome to our new showroom. She's our first guest in the new showroom. If you guys know, we changed the studio many times.
Yeah,
and then we built this showroom. It just finished maybe a week ago. I was working last night with the other guys to make it ready, but thank you for being the first guest here.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course, glad. And then we also have a new release of the Mes Bisous line, which is a Wondrous flight. And this was released a month ago? 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And it has been beautiful and successful release.
It's stock out in just 2 months. Like here, I think it was stock out for like 2 weeks.
We had it for 2 weeks and it was out, and I had to call it, distributor. Hey man, we need some more. Like, what happened to this? And I've tried it. I think you launched this perfume bottle, and at the right time. It's just such a beautiful fragrance for this type of weather that is hot, a little bit humid. You get a lot of compliment on it. I got compliment the first day that I wore it. Matthew wore it. Everyone here that wore it, they were so happy with it. So tell us a little bit about this. We're not going to go through every single bottle. If you guys want to know more about this fragrances, stay until the end of this podcast. We got some beautiful, beautiful news. So yes, tell us about Wondrous Flight.
Last winter, I saw that everyone around me was like unhappy, like they didn't have energy. So I wanted to create something that would boost people's mood up and something uplifting, something that gives energy. That was my main inspiration. So when we see energy, we look at the sun. The sun gives light to the earth, and sun gives the main energy source. So the main inspiration was sun. So when I look at the sun, I took the relationship between the sun and the moon, because there's an eternal relationship. The moon gets its light from the sun, and the sun shies away during the night and leaves the stage to the moon. Also, I'm really into astrology. The sun represents the male characters and yourself, and the moon represents your feelings, emotions. So when we get into the emotions, I thought of infatuation feeling, because when you're infatuated, you're like so uplifted, you're so energetic, your heart beats so much faster, so you're happy. So I wanted to combine all of these inspirations into one product. So I put the name of Wondrous Flight. It's not directly flying away, but it's something that uplifts you. So that's why it's a flight. In order to be happy, all you need is these feelings.
That's right.
So that's why it's all I need. Also, the poem is infatuation's dance, an enchanting trance. You are my sun, ever shining, ever light. Enchanted by you, our souls take flight.
Beautiful.
It's the poem.
First of all, I love that. That was beautiful. I know with every bottle that you have, you always have
we all have slogans for
I think
each
tobacco
perfume.
flirting with vanilla is talk smoky to me.
Yeah.
So I think the same concept goes into every bottle with the artistic side of it, with astrology. Is that right?
Not astrology, only like the moon and the sun, their relationship only.
Very nice, very nice. Well, guys, you heard it again. Like, if you guys want to try something, and first of all, for a fragrance that, it is a fresh fresh scent that is built for this time of the year, and then it lasts long and projects well. This is it, and I know it's a challenge to do it with scents like this. I would definitely,
especially when it's fresh.
Oh yeah.
People didn't expect this much, but
yeah, it doesn't. You know,
it's
usually fresh
really
scents you always get an hour or two, but this one you get 5-6 hours easily with a great projection. So definitely give it a try. If it doesn't get sold out by the time you try it, I can't guarantee, but we'll see.
I'm doing my best to make the production faster, but you know, these are all handmade, so it's
Oh, before
so hard.
Now that you said it, so where do you produce these products? Are they in Turkey or France?
Yeah, we produce them in Turkey, but like everything comes from different countries, so we made the mixture in Turkey.
I see. Yeah, so pieces come in and then it gets assembled up. Very nice, very nice. So are you happy with since you launched the brand, everything happened?
Super happy.
Yeah, nice.
I couldn't imagine this much would happen in such a short amount of time.
That's good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You know, a lot of people also love this. You know, I think you're just starting this and there's a big future. And I'm sure, you know, this brand and hopefully
scares me.
Yeah, and then, you know, hopefully we all working together, collaborating on this brand. We're gonna make this brand pretty successful. Maybe number one. Actually, not maybe, number one. We go with number one.
Actually, funny thing is that like 3 years ago, I was looking on the internet, exploring the retailers. So Maxaroma was one of my, like, I wrote down Maxaroma and I put some stars next to it. I wrote a little note. You have to get into that retailer.
Yeah.
I sent an email to Maxaroma, but no one answered.
Oh no! Well,
but here we are.
Here we are. It happens. Yeah. I mean, you know, it happened to me so many times too that when we were doing business, sometimes you send emails, sometimes you contact. They didn't get delivered. Something happened, and then
But
you meet
I'm sure
people.
you receive like maybe thousands.
Yeah, I
of
mean
emails
that happens too. Like, to be honest with you, if you go to my office, you know, there's like 40 boxes of different samples, which I'm super grateful. You know, I'm super grateful that you know there's a love, there's a passion that I'm putting in, and I'm getting the feedback from people. But of course, you know, there's a limit to things that we can do and I can do. But yeah, you know, as we go,
But after the first year, we got in.
We got it, yeah. So it's good. I love the collaboration. I think our customers, audience loved it too. So they are happy with this collaboration. So thank you, Mes Bisous. Thank you, Buse. That's easy. All right, so let's get into the questions.
Okay.
So guys, we have about 10, 11 questions. So we went through some of the questions. So can you tell us about your trip to Egypt when you were a kid? How did it make you want to make perfume?
Actually, I was a lawyer and my law career wasn't too long. It only took 6 months. I couldn't resist. Like I was so unhappy. I didn't want to go to my office. I didn't want to go see my clients. And then my uncle came to me. You're not happy that way. You have to do something you have passion for. So he asked me to, he knew that I had passion for perfumes since my childhood. So he asked me to, if I want to have my own perfume brand. I remember he says that my reaction was like, he cannot forget my reaction. Your eyes were so big and shiny. I said, can I do that? Do you think it's possible for me? And he said, yeah, I think you can do that like with a huge success. He supported me financially. He motivated me a lot. So I started. But my passion for perfume started when I went to Egypt when I was 8 years old. At Egypt with my father, we went to an essential oil workshop. At there, I saw that at ancient Egypt, they were like extracting essences from the plants and from the flowers. I was so fascinated by it. So I took some essential oils and I made my own mixture. So it started from my 8th age. I started to make my own perfumes.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. I mean, Egypt is not Middle East anymore. I mean, it's not never Middle East. Yeah, it's in Africa. I know a lot of, like, you know, what notes I would say you found there that inspired you, and then you were like, oh, look at this. Maybe ingredient note. What was it that really?
Actually, not one ingredient, but mixing all the essential oils, and after you put like different mixtures, everything came out differently. So
the
it's
whole
why
process
the
of
whole
making
process,
the perfume.
yes.
Yeah. Was that perfume or the pure oils?
I was mixing the pure oils.
Pure oils, yeah.
So when I got back to Turkey, I went to a perfume shop. I asked for alcohol to mix them, and I remember the guy was like, "Where did you find that much of oil? You're just a kid, and you can have like hundreds of perfumes from that." when he said that, I felt like the richest person on earth. Like, wow, I will have hundreds of perfumes.
So when you started mixing them or trying it yourself, did you have any sort of brands or perfumes that were your favorite, or you were just mixing it and wearing it and you were just trying those fragrances
I
yourself?
was trying out everything that I could.
I
like,
see.
Some
And you
of
were
them
wearing
were
it
like not really good, but some of them were really nice.
And you were wearing it on yourself, going out, trying to get compliments from people.
But after that, I started to collect perfumes from different brands. Like when I go abroad, first thing I did was going to the perfume shops, because you know, in every different culture, there are lots of different perfumes I saw. For example, in Dubai, it's a whole different story, or in Grasse, it's a whole different story. From like, I was fascinated when I traveled a lot, so I saw different styles of perfumes. I started to collect like different fragrances from all around the world.
So you're a perfume collector.
I was, but
You
right
were-
now I only have 6
one
perfumes.
baby. Yeah, that's actually very interesting, you know. Next question. All right. So I know, like in the brand story, you talk about the perfumes helping people feel special and confident. And I know there's a lot of belief online, or there's talks online that, you know, this is just a marketing tool that perfume companies, that's not what I believe for sure, that scent and emotion are close and it's a little bit overhyped. What do you think about it, and how do you really make scents connect with your emotions?
Scientifically, it's proven scientifically that your limbic system, which is your like emotions and your memory is in your brain, is directly linked to the olfactory system. So it's not overhyped or something. So it's the facts.
Yeah.
And also in the brain, there's hippocampus where all the memories are like stored there. So it's also directly linked to the olfactory system. So when you smell something, it triggers and it goes into the hippocampus and you remember something immediately. So
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, just if you think about it, and I've seen this also a lot, that some people just think about when you were a kid, not even, you know, a kid, when you're younger and you just go somewhere to a nice hotel, even a kitchen when your mom always cooked, and that smell always stays with you when you go back home.
Of course, for example, fresh baked cookies, like make everyone happy because it's linked to your childhood memories. You feel safe, you feel happy. So when you put a vanilla, for example, in the scents, it links to it. That's why people love vanilla, I think, because, you know, it's linked to what they love when they were kids.
Yeah, so don't say this again, guys. That's just completely wrong. It's not overhyped. If you just think about it, I hope you have a sense of smell so you can really smell things and remember things. So that's wrong. Second flight. So next question, we already talked about it, Wondrous flight, so we're good. Then we go to, this is actually a good question. So me and Jennifer, we were recently at a conference, Commerce Next, and they had this suite. It was Z suite that Gen Zs and people that are a little bit younger, they were talking about a lot of things that are going in the community and the products that they purchase. So what they were concerned, it was the real story behind every brand. And, you know, they were talking about sustainability. They're talking about, you know, how companies are sourcing products. And they were like, you know, a lot of people are saying it is sustainable, or they are sourcing this, but we rather you to be really honest to just call it this. So tell us exactly what has been happening, what's going on. So I know perfume industry is criticized for its lack of transparency in ingredients. How does Mes Bisous address concerns about ingredients, sourcing, and safety? What do you usually do as an owner, or, you know, how much you believe in using those ingredients in the quality? I know, like with the perfumes that you're creating and the amount of work that goes into it, but what do you think about this?
In niche perfume industry, the brands tend to use more like natural ingredients more than the synthetic ingredients, but it's impossible to use like 100% natural ingredients. You cannot go to a mountain and take something, and you cannot go into the ocean and take amber, for example. It's impossible. So, and also it's really impossible to produce that much of scents without using synthetic. I saw that some brands say that it's 100% natural, it's like this natural, but it's a total lie. So we try to keep the natural ingredients high, but of course it's not 100% because, you know, it's possible to do it.
And also with with everything that's happening, if you care about nature, animals, and all that stuff, you know.
We don't use animals.
Yeah, so you can't really get the natural ingredients because
course.
it is then against all the stuff that's
Yeah,
happening.
definitely.
So then you have to use some, and the way they, you know, the perfumers, like big companies like Firmenich, like Givaudan, and all of these are they into labs. They create the scent of amber musk that you don't really have to get it from those raw natural resources. So thank you for that answer. That was a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
So next question would be, so many traditional perfumers argue that art of perfumery is being lost in the age of mass production, which I kind of, you know, believe it too if you really get into a niche market and also artisan brands. What's your take on this? How does Mes Bisous stand out in this landscape?
I'm gonna look from a different angle to this question. I think it's, for us, it's something better because, you know, when the brands do artistic things, it's appreciated more.
Sure.
It stands out more. So for me, it's so much better. The other brands don't do that.
Sure. No, of course, you know, I think that when it gets to mass production, and this applies to any brands that has started, you know, there's always this balance that I would say, you know, you start small, and then of course, when you get bigger and bigger, and I always tell people, you know, when you are producing 2,000 bottles, then comparing to when you're producing 20, 30,000 bottles, of course, that source of raw ingredients and stuff wouldn't be the same because they can't produce the same amount, of course.
Of course.
So you always have to balance that,
Yeah.
you know. That's why I always believe in supporting indie houses, niche houses, because there's more love, there's more passion.
Definitely.
This is what we do. You're here, we're sitting down, we're talking. People get to know your face. They know who you are, who's behind it. The big brands, who knows who's behind it really. So yeah, that's true. So, that's actually a really good question. So your perfumes, you know, they're very strong. A lot of people put a lot of passion. You know, it makes people emotional. They have strong feelings about your fragrances. Can you tell us a story about someone or a reaction that you have from a customer, from a relative that actually stayed in your mind and just pushed you to do more and inspired you more?
I have one story from Embodying. You know, the Embodying's concept is there's a person who makes everyone fall in love with her eventually. So when I hear the stories happen in reality, it makes me so happy. So like one of my friends told me that he had a girlfriend and she was wearing Embodying. He told me that I fell in love with the scent. So like after they broke up, and when he smells the scent from me too. So he was so upset. Oh my God, I remember her. I don't want to like smell it again. I remember my love. So like it was, for me, it was good. Also, I have another like friend. He told me that he was using one night only. He told me that he was addicted to it. Like he bought a lot of bottles from me. So he couldn't use anything else. So hearing these stories makes me really glad that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I'm sure you gotta hear more stories, you know, now that the brand is growing, a lot of people are trying. But yeah, I mean, now also that you're traveling more, you're going to different shows, and you'll see more people that are consumers, the end customers, that they are wearing this, and they come up with a lot of stories. Hopefully, you know, with the event that you're doing in New York, you'll see a lot of them. So you'll see
for it.
You'll see a lot of good reactions there. So we got 2 more questions. If you could make a perfume based on a famous book or a movie, which one would it be?
Good question.
Yeah.
We already got inspired by some movies, some characters, some TV series. For example, when we look at One Night Only, actually before we create the perfumes, we make a mood board to like analyze the character. And One Night Only was inspired by American Psycho and Eyes Wide Shut movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And A Wondrous Flight was inspired by the movie A Good Year from Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Bad Rouge was inspired by Lolita. Tobacco Flirting with Vanilla was inspired by, you know, the TV series Suits. There were some lawyers, they were wearing suits. They were like...
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure. Also, there's already a lot of them are inspired by this stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oud Hypnotic, we got inspired by Pablo Escobar.
Perfect.
From Narcos.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So then, I mean, it's already there. So can you tell us about the new one that's coming out? What is it inspired by? Do you know?
It's going to be exotic fruits, but
Secret.
Yeah.
Wait for it. When do you think that will
Yes.
launch?
Probably on winter.
Winter.
But we're still working on it.
Yes,
Like,
we're good.
yes.
Oh, how big is your team? Like, how many people you're working with? Like, how does the company is? Like, yeah, tell us a little bit.
It's mostly a one-man show, but of course
Mostly,
I have a team.
sure,
like,
yeah.
But I like to control everything because otherwise, if I let go,
Things change.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, most of the things you do it yourself.
yeah. But of course, I'm working. With
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah. Of
people.
course, yeah. But so it's good. There you have it, guys. You know, one man show. You know, you're doing this. That's great. So, and last question. So, what are your dreams for Mes Bisous in the future? Are there any new perfumes? We talk about it. But what do you think? What do you see Mes Bisous in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go?
My main goal is to be like one of the biggest known, famous, worldwide known brands. But of course, not that. I want to do some different things from the artistic aspect. For example, this year we're going to do collaborations with some art galleries all around the world, and we're going to show the perfumes at the art pieces there.
Nice.
Also, I'm planning to do some installations that combines olfactory and art pieces into one like art piece in some art shows. So in an artistic ways, I want to do more.
Yeah, I mean, the brand matches this style and this vision. I think people would appreciate it a lot. There's a lot of art, a lot of work going into the bottles and the packaging, and I think, you know, it'll be super fun. Because, you know, my questions also finish it. So, you know, thank you for answering all the questions. So, since you're here, and we want to make sure we make this a special podcast, and for the launch of a Wondrous flight, we are giving away, I said 30 before, but we got to do 40.
Wow.
So we're gonna do 40 discovery sets. So make sure that you follow our page on YouTube. Leave a comment down below. Let us know which fragrance you're most interested in, or have you tried any of the Mes Bisous fragrances? And to enter the giveaway, and also make sure that you follow Mes Bisous on Instagram. Are you on any other channels that people can follow or see
We
you?
have TikTok, but it's not very active, so
Yeah,
I would
TikTok,
recommend
we're still
Instagram
figuring.
more.
Yeah, so Instagram for sure, follow you, and yeah, and then hopefully we gotta pick the winners in 2 weeks, and then we'll send you a set of 6 pieces. Yeah, full set, which is very new. She just created recently, and we got it maybe literally like 3 days ago. So, and then hopefully you guys gonna enjoy it. So, thank you again, Buse.
Thank you for having me here, and also I want to say happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was today was a very special day. You guys, maybe, you know, Jennifer can get a shot of this thing behind the camera. All right, guys, thank you again. I'll see you soon. Bye.